Tell me when.
When?
Chris, use it for class.
Tell me when. What's up, Noggers? This is Blaster McMassive with the Devastation Corporation, one half of the Shakar Tag Team Champions of the world. This is Juan Francisco de Coronado and the Batiri. They're a little shy, Puerto Ricans. And you're watching OSW Review.
OSW!
What more is he? What more is he?
Hello and welcome to OSW Review, the old school wrestling video podcast. Filmed in glorious grapple vision and encoded with glass processing, we chronologically critique wrestling storylines pay-per-view by pay-per-view. This is your host, your boy, Jay Hunter, joined as ever with Mr. Hosey and V1.
Alright.
It's WCW Night of Champions, the final ever edition of Monday Nitro, and it's coming up right now. Welcome, Noggers!
Just eaten 1,000 pies.
Oh, did you go to Pie Man?
No, actually, no, we haven't got the Pie Man in ages.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
We went to BK today.
In honour of...
In honour of me, you went 5 minutes late.
It was the closest place that was here. 50 episodes in the pocket, hey. Yeah, episode 51 rolling right now.
Big deal. 4 years, so that's that's more than one a month.
You know how proud I am of that? Because it was like every 6 weeks, I was like, oh my god, I've done more than one a month.
Good fucking man.
Like, there's been a few little ones thrown in there as well.
Squiggly ones.
I would not class a Brucey bonus as little.
Well, do you count the Cena episode?
No.
No.
And
Okay.
I don't count the happening as well.
Wow, that's a full episode.
Yeah.
Episode 52!
The final edition of WCW Nitro. How did this come about? Let's get you up to speed. The final edition of WCW Nitro. How did this come about? With the birth of the New World Order, it split into NWO Hollywood and NWO Wolfpack, and the massive babyface run of Goldberg, WCW were flying high despite reams of nonsensical finishes and sabotaging booking. It wasn't until April 99 that WCW fans turned out in droves, buy rates plummeted, never to return. October 5, 1999, being touted as the geniuses behind the Attitude Era, Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara jumped ship from the WWF. In 3 months of car crash TV, the WCW World title changed hands 6 times and vacated 5 times. Russo pitched MMA fighter and Friends actor Tank Abbott, winning the title, and was gone the next day. Russo's immediate replacement was Kevin Sullivan, along with Terry Taylor and a creative committee. The unpopular Taskmaster caused Benoit, Eddie, Malenko and Saturn to leave for the WWF, whilst ratings and booking was even worse. They were out in just 3 months. April 10th, 2000, Reboot Nitro. WCW's execs bring back Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff, so hopefully together they could work to get WCW back on track. Vacating the belt 3 more times, and 15 more world title changes. By the end of 2000, WCW was at its lowest point, losing $62 million in 1 year. November 29th, 2000, Time Warner let it known that they were actively looking to sell WCW. The front runner was a venture capital investment group. Fusion Media Ventures, brought together thanks to Eric Bischoff and Brian Vidal. They even announced they had purchased WCW on January 11th, 2001, naming Eric Bischoff as the WCW president, even though the deal hadn't gone through. Their bid was $48.7 million. However, even bigger problems out of WCW's hands. The AOL Time Warner merger, which would restructure the corporate hierarchy. Every major player in Time Warner wanted pro wrestling off TBS, even before the takeover, but it was Ted Turner who always refused. With the merger, Ted's power diminished, and WCW's cancellation was a matter of when, not if. The death knell for WCW was Turner's new chief executive, Jamie Kellner, who announced wrestling would be scrapped on TBS entirely. It's worth noting that this was more of a final blow kicking Nitro off TNT, because Thunder and the rest were already going to be gone even with Fusion's new deal. With no TV deal, so no way to promote live events, WCW was dead in the water. Fusion pulled out. Eric Bischoff announced on 19th March Nitro, via a pre-recorded telephone message, that next week's Nitro would be its last.
Many of you may know that for the past 6 months I've been working with a group of people whose goal it was, and is, to acquire World Championship Wrestling and to grow it once again to become a competitive, dominant wrestling organization worldwide. But recently we've hit a couple roadblocks that may be, in fact, brick walls. I want to make an announcement now that next Monday night in Panama City very well could be the last night of wrestling on the Turner Networks.
March 23rd, 2001, WWF announced they have bought WCW. How much, you ask? Knowing no one else would buy it and with no TV deal?
$5 million.
It was one, right?
At 2.5 million.
2.5.
What would this mean for WCW? What is the fate of WCW? Let's find out.
Imagine that. Me, Vince McMahon. Imagine that. Here I am on WCW television. How can that happen? Well, there's only one way. You see, it was just a matter of time before I, Vince McMahon, bought my competition. That's right. I own WCW. So therefore, in its final broadcast tonight on TNT, I have the opportunity to address you, the WCW fans. I have an opportunity to address you, the WCW superstars. What is the fate of WCW? Well, tonight, in a special simulcast, you'll all find out. Because the fate, the very fate of WCW is in my hands.
Kick off! Backstage at Raw, in a pre-tape vignette, Vince McMahon on Nitro announces he's bought WCW and will address the WCW wrestlers and fans in a special simulcast on both TNN and TNT tonight. Play the horrible Nitro theme and we're off.
What the fuck was that song? It's just...
It was shit. There's a chicken wing movement here that you're not seeing.
It's just white noise.
It
It's
is
disgusting.
noise, yeah.
Would you prefer this or Nickelback?
Nickelback, at least that's the song.
That does have a chicken action as well, doesn't it?
All songs have chicken actions.
Welcome to a landmark night in the industry of sports entertainment. I have seen it, and I still cannot believe it.
I love this Shivani line. I have seen it, and I still can't believe it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Ooh, it harkens the final chapter of the Monday Night Wars. Actually, the second best Monday Night Wars after TNA's 8-week war back in 2010.
Oh my god.
It's Final Nitro, live from Panama City Beach, Florida, in front of 1,000 spring breakers and just over 2 million viewers. Don't know how much the gate was, but did you see the flyer?
I'd imagine it was free if it was that spring break.
All you can drink beer plus Final Nitro, all for $30.
Nice. Yeah, I'd have gone to that.
On the bottom of it, it's like 4 p.m. till question mark.
Oh, nice.
6 p.m.
I love this setting. It's nighttime, outdoors for spring break. Got the large metal truss for the lights above the ring. Colourful side of a hotel. It's poolside. No?
Are you joking?
Do you not like the look of this?
I've here cool outdoor set looked really
It's a
awesome.
hotel car park.
So was just the main United parking, literally.
Well, the parking lot wasn't still there. Yeah, WCW had been doing this spring break deal for the previous 4 years as well. They're trying to snag the lucrative frat boy demographic. Wasn't successful.
It's better than the biker demo that they used to get down in Sturgis.
But, you know, I thought it looked great, but, you know, the gate is also 0, so...
Yes.
Shavante and Scott Hudson welcome us to the final WCW telecast, dubbed Night of Champions, March 26, 2001. Let's get to it. Let's get busy. 2001 Space Odyssey plays. Who comes out?
Woo! Woo!
Dave Penzer, he's back!
Oh, I didn't notice.
Final night.
Flair, who represented World Championship Wrestling above all others.
Pre-Nation, pre-out on the lash with Evolution, Nate comes out. He looks so young here.
No, he looks great.
Yeah. Like, because he was grand at the end of 2001 when he came in, and then he joined with Evolution, and then he just had a nice time and aged 15 years.
He just
into
went
it.
nature like
Yeah.
a mad joke, didn't
You
he?
think that was the problem? Wasn't the road schedule?
Yeah, well, road, going out in the beer every night and on the road, yeah, I
Who
think
was he
so.
going out in the beer with?
Well, Triple H and Batista and
Triple
Orton.
H go out in the beer?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, for Nate, I think
I'd
he's
imagine
a huge Nate mark.
he'd go out because he'd want to be one of the lads, but he's too clever to have more than 2 or 3
Yeah,
beers.
he'd have like pints of water.
Yeah.
One of those.
One of
cunts.
them
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
taking his fucking lifeline tablets between his Remember those gimmicks? What knob jockey ever took those things? Did you? Oh my god. I just had to point this out about Ric Flair. State of your hairstyle,
Yeah.
mate.
He's got the Calvin and Hobbes thing. Yeah.
What's the Calvin?
Oh, well, the
Hobbes?
Bart Simpson then. How about that?
I think Bart Simpson.
yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Did I? Woo!
Ric Flair's out first with a promo. Did I? Woo! I fucking love this promo.
It was great.
Amazing. Rick defies Vince, saying he can't hold people's lives in his hands, and cuts an impassioned history of WCW promo, which only Flair can do, where he name drops Handsome Harley Race, the Briscoes, the Horsemen, Lex Luger.
He does.
It's like Harley Race, Sting, blah blah, blah and Bagwell. And the fans popped. It was great.
Oddly, he leaves kayfabe at the door, reminding Vince that in 1981, his father, Vince Sr., voted for Ric Flair to become NWA champion.
He gets away with it because most of his promo is kayfabe, so he just slips that in. But yeah, fuck you. Right, we'll get back to kayfabe.
Yeah.
As you know, he's talking about WCW being the best wrestling company of all time.
That's kayfabe.
That's proper
Holy shit.
fucking kayfabe. He never misses an opportunity to bitch about WCW now.
Like, he'd be on DVDs later saying, I couldn't wait for that dump to close. It was the happiest day of my life. So.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
really weird.
But like, I'd imagine when like he's saying WCW, he's thinking NWA, and he's thinking back to Crockett and prior to that in the 70s, and you know Harley races and all that shit.
That 70s guy, yeah.
Yeah. But here he was so passionate, he's banging on about all the boys in the back and how they're the best, and they just want to go out and be their best every night. What a fucking promo.
He challenges his professed greatest opponent, Sting. I fucking love Nate. For the main event tonight. Oh, you see in the crowd there is hilarious Bischoff Subway's hiring sign.
Nice. I have it written down here. Whopper promo. Just overall, it was awesome.
100%.
Sting! To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And Sting, I'm the man. Woo!
Oh, how did you find out WCW was bought out?
You would have told me in school.
Alright.
I didn't find out until I watched Raw that Friday.
The simulcast? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just remember being on the net, like, over the weekend, and there's this banner that just says WWF purchases WCW, and it's like, holy shit, this must be true. They're using the WCW logo. It's like, whoa, you know. But it didn't really sink in until the simulcast, where it was like Vince is in front of a TV and he's like, here's WWF and here's WCW, and Jarrett's on. It's like, fuck, that's WCW, that's Nitro. Because I had no idea. I knew they were doing bad, like, you know, the bubble would burst, you know, NWO would finish and that, but I didn't know they were in the toilet. Oh, I guess we all watched the TV rip. There's no other version available. We get an AOL online ad. Fucking dial-up. Yeah.
It was like you can have 6 megs of space on your fucking, your email or something.
That's right. That was the music ad. It was like 6 megs of space, 10 megs of email, more than anyone else.
You can load up to 5 pictures a day. Big bang a web crawler.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Our inaugural contest is WCW champion Scott Steiner versus US champion Booker T in a title for title unification match. Holy shit.
And it's jerking the curtain.
Yes, the Dolph Ziggler world champion position, jerking the curtain. Scott's with his head freak Medeja, and the referee is Nick Patrick. So, the main focus of WCW for the last couple of months was champion Scott Steiner, the crown jewel of kayfabe WCW CEO Ric Flair's heel faction, the Elite, or the Magnificent Seven, either is good, along with Luger, Bagwell, Jarrett, and Road Warrior Animal. Steiner had been champ since November's WCW Mayhem, beating Booker T. The Magnificent Seven angle had been scrapped with the cancellation of WCW. So earlier, Ric Flair just came out as babyface Ric Flair, and Steiner's just Scott Steiner again. Fast TV match where Steiner works over Booker until the finishing sequence. You got lots of whips, chops, punches. It's weird how Big Papa Pump's so immobile, but he breaks out like a variety of suplexes. We see a Bimmy to Jimmy suplex, and after blocking a bookend, hits a Northern Light suplex.
And an absolutely shockingly bad powerbomb.
Booker counters the powerbomb, hits the bookend, bing bang boom, and Booker's the US and world champion in just 5 minutes 9 seconds. He's allowed to celebrate for a whopping 75 seconds until they go to ads.
Well, it's setting the tone for the night. This is your world title match, and it's 5 minutes. What are the rest of them going to be? And for 5 minutes, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, there was nothing bad in the match, but there was nothing good either.
It needed to be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
And not first.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I was amazed at Steiner. He's okay at this point. He's okay. People shouldn't look like he does. But, yeah, you can go. I love the elbow thing with the press-ups.
It's a good spot.
It's nice.
It's a good spot. It's a good heat getter, isn't it? Yeah. Was Booker T like a loved babyface at this point?
Yeah, you get to see his babyface promo, and that's why you're not cheering very loudly for Booker T. It felt really small time, not much gravity for an incredible accomplishment. Nothing bad, but at least it was clean and decisive. Oh, just FYI, WCW staff mostly ran the show, but WWE controlled the major booking decisions. WCW creative at the time was Johnny Ace at the top as head booker and lead creative, EP Eric Bischoff, Jimmy Hart, Terry Taylor, and Ed Ferrara. Bischoff getting back in with Fusion gave Disco Inferno, Jeremy Borash, and Bill Banks the boot. So Russo was sitting at home.
That's right, yeah.
1-800 collect WCW Beach ad. Real 90s, real cheap, real cheesy. We love you, WCW! Next up is the first of 25,000 backstage vignettes with Vince. Yeah, I get it's the pimp that simulcast. He must have been on every segment on this show.
I think so. Oh my god. Where do you start with these? It's like, he understands that this is not Raw that he's on, and this is Nitro. And he spends his entire time just like, WCW is shit. Florida is shit. The fans are shit. By the way, tune in next Monday. Like.
Yeah.
Mass exodus. Like.
Genius. Backstage at Raw, he insults Panama City Beach as being a redneck panhandle of Florida. Exactly. I'm certain these fans will follow you to WWF.
Exactly.
I can't get you out of my heart. I knew we were in trouble right from the start. We should have played it smart. Now I can't get you out of my heart.
Next up is a triple threat tag team match to try take the Cruiserweight tag team titles tonight.
Hey, well done.
Nice.
It's the Young Dragons, Kaz Hayashi and Jimmy Wang Yang, no entrance, versus 3 count Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous, versus Filthy Animals, Kidman and maskless Deviled Horn Ray Ray.
God, what's that all about? Keep him off telly for a year. Bring him in 2002 with his mask back on.
Who's that with a shit haircut? It was like, I'm making a ton of cash with the mask, that demask. That's it.
Yeah.
Dead. The lads work an X Division work rate high spot match. No selling and no resting. It's like the booker said, you have 3 minutes 40 seconds, get all your shit in. And shit, they did get in.
So Shannon Moore's in this match, right? He's supposed to be, a cruiserweight, high flyer. He's a bit bollocks. Like, did he ever do?
It never promised to be good.
Yeah, but did he ever do anything that wowed you? If you're that small, you better either be a technical master or a high flyer, and he's neither.
Yeah.
But your man, Evan Courageous, fucking amazing.
He's
guy.
definitely an OSC boy.
Yeah.
The Teddy Hart of WCW. Pylon on the outside, and everyone takes turns getting their signature spots in. Crazy Kid McCasey, a shooting star press from the top rope to the outside.
Which, by the way, the fuckers dropped him on and he face planted. Bastards.
Jimmy Wang's Yang Time. It was nice of him to reference the mid-90s TV show. Do you remember that?
I
that was
don't remember
mid-90s, so
hang time at all.
it was the shit California Dreams, like, which was the shit Saved by the Bell. Courageous hits a 450. Ron's denied an X-Pac Bronco Buster, just about keeps his balance and delivers a guillotine leg drop to Moore and gets the win in 3 minutes 40 seconds.
Yang hits his Yang Time for a good two kind.
Two kites.
High night, Brian Kai.
You can say something else now.
Yeah, that's a third thing. Yeah.
So Yang hits his Yang Time, gets a 2. Courageous hits his 450, which is gorgeous, and gets a 2. And it's like, Ray hits a fucking leg drop and wins.
He jumps off the boat though.
But do you remember his flying phallus?
Oh, the battered sausage.
Yeah.
He didn't even jump in the air yet. That was his finisher. He
just
fell
falls.
on them. It flops on them. So how is that better?
It's not.
I thought it's a flurry of worthless high spots. Squandered athleticism. Like, all these moves really impressive. Holy shit kind of stuff. But they're immediately forgotten as it's a conveyor belt of spots. And the match ends, and it's off to the next worthless McMahon segment.
I'm kind of with you, Jay. I thought the moves were spectacular and the action looked great, but it was just a blur. It was too short and it didn't leave an impression. I would have been happier if this match wasn't even on the show and you just added these 3 minutes to the tag title match.
How about cut out 23 of Vince's vignettes? And we
People tune in to see me.
tune in to Nitro to see.
They will.
Trish, who wants to celebrate with champagne. Nice pair of glasses, McMahon quips, and he wears the face off her.
Well, no. No, he doesn't.
Well,
he does
he-
that horrible, silly pretend. Oh,
I think it's the one, the big swirl. I think.
goes nowhere near her mouth, which I thought was quite nice of him. But then they do the fucking the cork popping, and then like this frothy cum on the ground.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be cum. What's with the cork? Like,
Subtle.
is that what's supposed to happen? Is there something wrong with me?
But that's the insinuation, you know. It's like it's either that or have like a toy train in the room and it goes into a hole, you know. But the train's too big to fit in the hole, so it just rams its way in.
It just pushes the hole down the track.
Nitro. For years, and here comes the WCW Cruiserweight Champion of the World.
Match number 3, Cruiserweight title match. Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus the Cruiserweight champion, Shane Helms. Mr. Marmite Rock Remix heel Chavo Guerrero versus For the Breaker.
He got a song, his own entrance theme, written about his finisher. That's unique.
Although this song and entrance makes him a heel. It's
is a heel.
very.
You know, he's face.
He's a face. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And his entrance is shot so badly that he's not facing the camera. He's off to the side going,
Which is a heel thing to do.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I just get bang of X-Pac off this whole gimmick. Just that kind of upper mid card, getting a push. You're cruiserweight, but you're wrestling like a heavyweight. It's weird.
Yes, they say he's the evolution of the cruiserweight division. Oh, this is what we have to look forward to. Cruiserweight's not doing high spots.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Helms split from 3 count at February's Super Brawl Revenge and was enjoying his breakout singles gimmick, complete with his Reach 2004 attire with black trunks and white boots. And Chavo is Eddie's nephew.
Chavo's your boy, Steve, right?
I like Chavo, but I mean, in this match, it's tough to get behind this. He was booked to be a punching bag, you know. He did one move and it was nice, and the rest was almost got a move. Helms has reversed it in an awkward manner and is going to do a move on you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dave Penzers in a wonderful Hawaiian shirt. Thought a fitting tribute to Yeah, we got a gorgeous top rope sunset flip by Helms.
That's exactly what I've written down here, word for word.
Oh, Steve, we get a 4% body fat sign in the crowd.
It's Lex Luger, right?
It is Lex Luger.
The one and
He
only.
wasn't the one in the crowd, was he?
Shit, times are tough.
It would be a great gimmick if, like, he was making a comeback and he could just come into the crowd and be like, you know, if he's off for like 6 months, he can be like, 8% body fat, and then next week 7% body fat.
I love it.
And you know, eventually.
Oh wow, Steve, you
Book it
do
down.
have good
Yeah.
ideas.
I do. Now you could tag him up with Rasputin.
No, you fucking
One too many. Gorgeous suplex by Chavo. Man, I absolutely loved this match. Like, I thought these guys were really good together. Lots of smooth and fast-paced exchanges. I thought it sucks that Chavo never wrestled or wasn't allowed to wrestle this smooth and this well
Really,
in WWE.
it really bugs me. In his entire career in the WWE, he had one match with Ray at a pay-per-view that was fucking phenomenal. It stole the entire show, and I don't know, like, did Vince panic? Oh my god, he's fucking actual talent. And just, no, I've got to push him or something. Because he can be good. Like here, he hit a T-bone that was beautiful and followed it up with a Northern Lights. They're two perfectly done moves. No, he's shit. You know, he's boring. Kind of is, though.
That's exactly what I had here. Chavo hits a T-bone suplex, some lovely reversals, and hits a Northern Light suplex. It's just,
Beautiful.
fuck. This is like, I can give out about WWE Chavo, because he's shit, but holy shit, like, you know?
Yeah.
Helms reverses an inverted suplex and hits a depressingly shit sugar smack super kick, and oh god, you'll kill him, but it was actually safe vertebreaker. Chavo took to his head well and looked safe. Helms retains in 4:39. And fuck you, talented cruiserweights. Time between pinfall to the next match graphic is
30 seconds?
10 seconds.
Whoa.
I was actually going to say 11 seconds there. I wish I did.
That would have been wrong, though. It was a fast-paced match, which is always good, but it was just reversal after reversal. It's like, are you a cruiserweight? Are you heavyweight? What the fuck are you? Yeah, a few nice suplexes. Steiner did a few nice suplexes. Don't hear you talking about him.
I did say he did 2 nice suplexes.
Okay, I don't hear you talking about him now.
It's the Shane Helms match. I really like this. I wish they got 15 minutes. Good stuff, lads. Both were picked up by the WWE, and although it's practically banned in the WWE, Hurricane Helms did break out the vertebreaker once on Heat versus Stevie Richards.
Wow.
Oh, and obviously, just to mention, Hurricane Helms, what's his best thing in his career?
The stuff with The Rock?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2003, Hollywood heel, The Rock, and he had some backstage segments. Oh, it's really, really good stuff.
It goes to show you how much of a team player that The Rock is, that he even did that feud or those segments. What a guy.
You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You ain't no superhero. Not like the Scorpion King. You're 100 pounds and nothing. 5 feet nothing. Oh, excuse the Rock 1 second. Excuse the Rock. His cell phone's going off. Oh, yeah. Cacao, hello. Hey, it's nothing. He says he knows you. You're nothing. Don't laugh at the Rock's jokes.
Beef, spice, beef, spice. Little excitement. Step into a Slim Jim.
We get a Slim Jim ad with Macho Man in a padded cell. Great use out of Steiner's straitjacket and set from the WCW Mayhem poster.
And this wasn't Macho Man. This was Bonesaw. He was enormous at this point. Holy fucking shit.
Bonesaw is ready!
Where was he in the show?
No, he was fired at the time he was gone.
Oh wow, really?
But still on ads for during WCW.
Oh yeah, no, we taped them already. We just don't have to pay you.
Yeah.
That's it. They're just trying to not lose another 62 million in 2001.
Okay, fair enough.
Newly crowned WCW and US double champion Booker T gets some interview time. He cuts an awful, bland, straight babyface promo.
I would say terrified. He came across like he was shitting himself. Like, as if he thought that this was his interview with Vince and he's trying to get a job with the Fed or something like that. And he came across like he was really
very
frightened.
good. He failed that interview.
He did.
How did you get signed on this interview?
From this point on, I will prove that I am the best this business has to offer. And if anybody...
not a patch on his WWE character. He's like light years more charismatic. Even like a few months later with Austin and the Invasion and that.
Yeah.
And he's in the supermarket with Austin. You know. Booker works towards his catchphrase, which is...
Don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
No, I think he loved the game. Is that no?
But why would you love the game if you're not...
Don't hate the player and love the game. Not don't hate the player but hate the game.
It's going to be hilarious.
Okay. And the game is?
Life.
Okay. And the player is?
Booker T.
Ah.
Don't hate me and love life.
I think Michelle McCool.
Oh, you did the second before me.
I'm Michelle McCool, and I'm loving life.
Match number 4 is Lance Storm and Mike Awesome versus Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Hare. That 70s guy, Mike Awesome, dropped the gimmick in January to join the Team Canada stable, redubbed the Canadian Killer.
So he kills Canadians.
Yeah.
Killer Canadian would have been.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he had his iconic mullet cut off by Filthy Animals Conan. Palumbo.
Good.
Aww.
State of it.
Yeah.
It's only 2001. Palumbo and O'Hare were part of the Natural Born Thrillers, a bland stable comprised of guys brought up from the WCW power plant before they split in February, but these two remained a tag team, which would continue into the WWF. If I can be serious for a minute, this is my favourite Lance Storm gimmick. I thought this works for him. He's kind of insulting himself here.
Dancing Lance Storm.
Yeah.
It's only the gimmick Dancing Bubba Ray wishes he had.
No, you're absolutely spot on. Like this is his best gimmick, but even at that, it's not much of a gimmick. You know, it's more of a segue.
Like his stuff with Edge and Christian playing off him, that was really, really good stuff. Oh, hang on, no match just yet. Time for a fucking Vince McMahon vignette. Shill Michael Cole asked Vince about wrestlers being out of a job and, in a giant fuck you, if WCW fans will ever see their brand of sports entertainment again. Shavante retorts, yes, what will happen to our brand of wrestling? It's like, oh, bless you, Shavante. Vince turns it back on Cole, saying he should worry about his own job security. So, lads, what can you do in 3 minutes, 23 seconds?
Have a cry wank.
Dirty Lee on this.
Not fucking much. Back and forth match. No real story. No real action. Mike Awesome, quite possibly the greatest shape of his entire career. Looked fantastic.
I have to say, I was impressed with how fast Mike Awesome was bumping. Like, all 4 guys moved very fast. They were keeping up with Lance Storm's pace in a smooth, hurried affair. 3 minutes, of course, you won't gas out in 3 minutes. Palumbo catches Storm midair for a fall-away slam. Awesome hits a flying elbow off the second turnbuckle, the most dangerous turnbuckle, but gets caught in a Death Valley driver for 2. Palumbo counters an Awesome bomb into a super kick, setting up a Sean Taunt bomb, who gets the pin in 3:23. Just the seeping dread of these fast-paced matches. They literally only have a few minutes each on air. And 10 seconds after the pinfall, we cut the plug in the main event.
I think the entire point of this match was to have Palumbo and O'Hare look good to going into Raw, and it kind of made them look decent. Kind of.
Yeah, just Sean O'Hare. We've said it before. He's great. He looks amazing. You know, he can move. He can do power moves, and you know his Swanton bomb was, you know, perfection.
Of course, his amazing gimmick was...
Was he a devil? Was he the devil? Was
kind of a devil's advocate.
Devil's
Man
advocate.
in black,
There we go.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Go ahead. Do it. You have sexual needs, desires. You want to. You need to. Do it for you. When was the last time you did something for you? We all know it's just a physical thing. It's not like you're going to leave your wife. Look at it this way. It'll make your relationship stronger in the end. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. You'll appreciate your wife more. If you play your cards right, you might even learn a few things. And believe me, your wife will thank you later. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know.
Like, his vignettes were just incredible stuff. He's kind of like a corrupting force.
Yes, that's exactly what he is. A corrupting force.
He tries to get you to cheat on your wife or to gamble or, you know, just do bad things. We're putting you with Popper. 2003, we're out at Popper.
Fuck. This was when Piper was mental. Like when he was cutting stupid promos and making absolutely no sense.
You know, he had these promos where he's wearing a suit, very suave. Then he started coming out in a leather fucking coat.
fucking destroyed this guy's career. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, he went on to have problems with drugs and the law and shit like that, and he didn't do himself any favors. But when he was hot, they fucking super cooled him off so quickly, and it's depressing. This gimmick never really made it past those promos. It's like, what was their plan for him? Like, was he going to fuck over people and that made him more powerful or something? Or like, was he just going to come out and be a wrestler? Because you never know in the Fed, you know? Maybe what they did with Piper was their vision for this character.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? Like, who fucking knows? It's Vince, you know, with the Booker, I know what you did last summer and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
But somebody who is knowingly manipulating people to get to the top. Very interesting stuff.
it's basically what Hunter did in real life, but in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Be incredible as well. This requires a lot of, like, it would be amazing, but that's quite intricate and requires forward planning. WWE just don't have it, like.
Yeah. Well, you could just have him looking at the camera, going,
Or a bit of mum's the word. Yeah. So we finished the match, didn't we? Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like just this match, an adequate snapshot of, you know, the death of WCW. It's like guys with no personality, given no time, with no match storyline, on to the next match. Why aren't they getting over?
like, if we thought the previous matches were short and aimless, this next one coming up, honestly, I missed it. I missed this fucking match because I looked away.
Hang on, Steve. There is an amazing WCW MasterCard ad.
That's embarrassing, taking out a half-naked man out of your wallet.
Not by this WCW.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Lex Luger's card only charged 4% interest?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Yes.
That would be fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be like the most popular card. Every bloke in the world would be like, Lex, a bit of Lex there, a little Lex here.
My Lexable friend.
Oh!
Come on, lads. You love puns. Come
I
on.
like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And if you sign up, Bischoff charges 62 million to your account. Match number 5, Shawn Stasiak versus Bam Bam Bigelow. It's a tattoo match where if Bam Bam wins, he gets to tattoo Stasiak. If Stasiak wins, then Stasiak gets to win.
What has he to gain? Like,
Yeah.
he's got the best looking woman ever, and he's, you know, he's decently built, handsome guy. What's Bigelow got going for him?
Big bum Bigelow. Like.
I've got a briefcase.
Does he have a briefcase?
He does, yeah, his tattoo briefcase.
All right, but does he have anywhere to plug in the gun?
Incredibly gorgeous Stacy Keibler
Oh my God.
says, Sorry, I'm not here to dance tonight. One half of the Shawn and Stacey show, which isn't an interview segment, Stacey's back on TV after her pregnancy angle with Ric and David Flair, with a new man in her life, Shawn Stasiak. She introduces Do It Now! Shawn the Star Stasiak to a trademark WCW rip-off song, Fatboy Slim's Right Here, Right Now.
Yeah, completely rip off. Oh, bad.
I thought it was actually a decent rip-off song, you know, as far as WCW
In terms, yeah.
rip-offs
It's
go.
not that bad.
Stasiak kisses Stacey on the chin, i.e. this is a gig for work. Like, Jesus Christ. Did she just want no part of him, is it? I'm not even willing to kayfabe a closed kiss on the mouth or something, no? Shit, Bam Bam. He is in the worst shape of his career.
looks bad.
Oh, man. He comes out with his tattoo briefcase, a precursor to your boy, Prince Albert.
Did he? You used to have that was his gimmick. But he wouldn't have tattoos. He had tattoos or just piercing.
I think he pierced Mickey's, and that was his gimmick,
that's
right?
his fucking
He was
gimmick.
Prince Albert, like.
Yeah.
He handled Mickey's for a living.
Well, yes.
Big bag of dicks, like, yeah.
You know what a Prince Albert is.
Yeah. That's all he does, like.
A Prince Albert is
That would be his
Pierce Mickey.
specialty. That's what he excels at.
He holds Mickey's.
Face.
That's disgusting. You'd want to be gay, yeah? You couldn't do that if you're straight.
But Steve got his nipples pierced at one point.
I never happened.
Oh, is it not you? Was it?
No.
I've been bad mouthing you.
Oh, fuck.
That's so nasty.
Oh, by the way, bars,
Question.
there were literally only three colours on this show. There was black with white, white with black, and pink. And they're the only colours that were on this show.
Zodiac, and Kimberly Page.
Yep.
Why are they feuding, you ask? Craziac insulted bold people. The match is in fast forward. Big bum Bigelow, slam and flying headbutt. Interference by Stacy leads to Craziac countering the greetings from Asbury Park. Sean hits a neckbreaker and the Mecca of Manhood picks up the win in 1:25. Celebrate for 13 seconds and we're back to another Vince vignette.
What's think of this match? I thought Stacey was hot.
Crazy hot, yeah. I always hated how WCW portrayed her though.
That's the trend.
Mrs. Hancock. And you have Mark Madden going, sit on my lap, Stacey. It's like, fuck.
Tony, call the match! I'm not looking.
Vince and Willie Regal in a lovely black X7 baseball jersey. He second guesses Vince buying WCW as the company is a bloody awful mess and leaves a stench in the air. These vignettes take longer to recap than it would be to play them.
It's like, fuck you, WCW, and anyone who likes it. That's what this segment was.
What I loved, coming back from break, Tony Schiavone snaps at Regal ripping WCW, saying, "We've had to do some crazy things, Steve Regal, like putting your ass over on TV."
That's good. That is good.
Oh, yeah, fuck you, you know?
Yeah. Steve was very upset. Not Regal, you.
Yeah, I think Regal's great.
Yeah.
And Scott Hudson reels him back in. See, Hudson, he was told WWF were interested in hiring him for the relaunch of WCW, so he kind of ensures this, like, yeah, and they did. They did have him.
Him and Aaron, right?
But Schiavone knew that WWF weren't interested.
Yeah.
So, fuck it.
He still was professional throughout a couple of minor things, but overall, he could have just gone to town.
Oh, yeah, he could have buried WWF. It would have been great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just took some well-deserved... What do you call it?
Pot shots.
Yeah, but he's fighting back here. They're insulting.
Yeah.
Like, Vince, all of these segments are insulting WCW.
Yeah.
These Vince vignettes. In a pre-taped beachside vignette, a DDP thanks the fans for his career and letting Page Joseph Falkenberg live his dream. He says it's the fans, not the promoter, who decides who gets over. Man, just that's really sad though. It's not true at all.
It's not true.
He just sounds very grateful and, for his career and that.
Boom, boom, bang.
Read what you want to read. Believe what you want to believe. But don't be the man. You gotta beat the man.
Night of Champions video package showing various NWA and WCW champions under a horrific blue tint. Of note, NWA champion, rubbish Ronnie Garvin.
I didn't even realise it. I must have skipped that ad. Oh, I'm devastated.
Van Garvinator. There he is. Just immortalized in this horrific video package.
Okay. Splicey the shit out of that.
I like pause on Garvin.
Yeah.
That's it. Thought this package was actually remarkably reverent and out of place because this Nitro was quite hurried and get it over with. Because the show was like got nothing to do with the lineage of WCW and the history and all that. More about Vince McMahon putting on his coat.
Pretty much.
We get another Vince vignette. He gets his coat. End scene.
It's a rematch for Cruiserweight Tag Gold. Here come the champions.
Match number 6 for the Cruiserweight Tag Championship. It's champions Primetime Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo versus Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio Jr. Cruiserweight Tag titles? Yep, since Greed 8 days ago. This focus on the division was part of Bischoff's reboot, which included offering contracts to cruiserweights AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kid Cash, Mike Modest, and Jason Jett. Man, this is like in 2001.
Yeah.
AJ Styles did do a few matches in WCW.
Yeah.
The lads wrestle in fast forward as they only have 4:45. Kid Romeo is jacked.
Oh my god.
Oh, he does Big Show's alley-oop. Ah.
Yeah, it's a bit messy. I don't like
It
it.
was kind of nasty. Like, he was a bit vicious doing it. Like,
What do you think he wasn't picked up by Vince?
I think he's very small.
Maybe it's because he's ugly. It's because he's like Kid Romeo.
Yes.
Shavante calls a seated senton a Fez press, and Ron runs wild with a baseball slide to the groin and a Bronco Buster. Much like earlier, they just hit big moves, like a sweet tornado DDT. The pins are broken up and they no-sell onto the next spot. Skipper holds Ray's hands and hits a bridging tiger suplex from an electric chair position. That was really sweet. Mm-hmm. It's the X-Plex.
What's his face does that? Kenny Omega, right?
Oh, very good. Yeah,
He's awesome.
yeah,
version
he's
of
the
it,
business. Primetime's play of the day, which is MVP's Playmaker. Steve, your favourite move from 2007. The entire mid-card.
Everyone's move from 2007. Fucking Cody Rhodes and all had it, didn't he? God.
Just stop using that move.
Yeah.
It looks horrible. Like. Primetime's play of the day is countered with Kidman's Unprettier, which is called the Kid Crusher, and gets the 3 in 4:45. So Kidman and Ron are the new second and final Cruiserweight champions. Titles which wouldn't be brought over by the WWF, and Kidman and Ray are still set to have the belts.
Oh, nice. Good, good. Little couple of bob if you ever get into hard times.
Do you did you like Primetime's selling of the Unprettier? He did the the Bubba Ray jumping, so he jumped while Kidman was jumping to take the move. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird how Kidman was a bigger star in WCW and initially in WWE than Ron. But, a year or so on Ron, skyrocketed,
Yeah.
Oh, Elix Skipper never got a job in the WWE, but he's best known for his cage walk in Hurricane Rana in TNA.
Very impressive. He's a great athlete. Shame that he never got his chance to have some good matches in the Fed.
He feels like an OC boy, is he? Did you like what you saw
I didn't
here?
see enough. Definitely liked what I saw. But you put me off because you said he looks like a crack addict.
Yeah.
You gotta name all those cage walks?
Surprise, surprise! The Stinger is back. Of course, did you think I would miss this night? Not for nothing would I miss this night.
Sting! Sting! Sting's backstage in a bat cold storage room. Imagine a meat locker, but instead of meat hanging, bats hang in its place.
It's not a good feng shui, walking in the middle of the night. What the fucking bats?
Well, initially there are big black bully cocks. I thought it was cool. Darting between bats. No. He just says, if one thing's for sure, then nothing's for sure. Kind of like John Cena, inspirational kind of speech to him, No?
I thought this promo was terrible.
He's so charismatic though,
He does give it sucks, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they just don't know how to write for this character or something, because he just seems like a relatively happy bloke.
No, I'm happy to see Sting. He's happy to be here. Hooray,
It's showtime, folks!
Vince vignette.
God.
Vince walks backstage. He asks how a bystander is doing.
And the Cosmic Ballet goes on.
So it's time. Is this? Yeah, it's the final match on the final Nitro. It's
Wow.
Sting versus Ric Flair. OC's favourite. Under his robe, Ric Flair's wearing a WCW Nitro t-shirt.
Since then, Ric Flair said, I really regret having to wear a t-shirt for that. I didn't get in shape.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because it's the last match ever of a company, and this is the kind of lasting image that you're giving away is Tommy Dreamer. You know what I mean? Not to even say that they're even remotely on the same level, but Tommy Dreamer wrestled in a company t-shirt, and it's just a bit of a shit image.
Even if you had like a street fight and you could have worn
a street fight would have fixed this completely.
Probably slacks like he did on Slamboree probably would have worked better.
Yeah.
Slacks in a shirt.
This is segment 11, and yet we have no idea if we will ever be bringing you World Championship Wrestling again. The last night here on TNT, and here comes a man who has meant everything to many fans around the world. Sting arrives back, and you heard what he said. I wouldn't miss it for the world. We will hear from Mr. McMahon, we understand, sometime, very shortly. But right now, this is one for all the fans who love World Championship Wrestling throughout the years. Sergeant Scott, we as announcers are going to kick it into high gear.
When it was in vogue to jump from World Championship Wrestling to the World Wrestling Federation, even Ric Flair made the jump, but this man, from Bill Watts Universal Wrestling Federation to World Championship Wrestling, was loyal. He fled WCW. He slept WCW, a 7-time World Heavyweight Champion. This man proved night after night what loyalty meant. And tonight, he and Ric Flair are going to finish off Nitro.
Sting comes out to Seek and Destroy by Metallica. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. But is it as awesome as Man Called Sting? Yeah. Oh, bollocks.
It's like 4 times better.
I love that song.
What was that from?
Blonde
Surfer Sting
version song. That was awesome. Like, he does this. He does that. He's as quick as a cat, and he hits him with a bat.
I love Sting. He's well over. So much charisma. One of the coolest gimmicks ever made. And such a massive star. And it's made more apparent by the rest of WCW being like Stasiak and Palumbo, cruiserweights and power plant acts. Schiavone calls it perhaps the last broadcast of Nitro on TNT. I thought the way the show is presented gives you the impression that it's only the last Nitro on TNT, that it had moved to another station, and reboot Nitro was the plan, and more on that later. But this would indeed be the last Nitro. The commentators gush over the history of Sting and Flair in WCW. It was wonderful to hear the respect given to each star and their lineage.
He puts them over so much. Schiavone is the greatest that I've ever seen him commentate. Like, he's so passionate. He loves this company. He loves both of these guys, and he makes them come across like massive stars. So 2 big thumbs up.
And Hudson as well.
Yeah.
I think this kind of talk should have been going all night, just remembering the good times and the biggest moments of WCW, and not Vince McMahon's coat.
God, yeah. Imagine if for each of those segments that Vince was, on camera, they took that out and showed one of the greatest moments in Nitro history. This show would have been 10 times better.
Oh, Little Nate Charles Robinson is reffing this contest, which is the very same matchup that opened up Nitro back in September 95. So that was very fitting.
Very nice.
This is quite a nostalgia match, like a for old time's sake match. 2 friends smiling and nodding throughout. Not a serious affair, like an exhibition match put on for the people. All the old familiar places. Sting no-sells shoulder blocks and poses. Classic corner spot by Flair. And then turnbuckle punches. Flair flop. Flair strut. Nate takes control with a mildly hidden low blow. Then it's time to go to school. Flair applies the figure 4, but Stinger reaches the ropes. No-sells chops and hits a superplex into a Scorpion Deathlock and lightning quick tap for the win. Stinger wins in just 7 minutes 19. The 2 waste no time doing the respect spot and immediately embrace. What do you think?
It was pretty good. I mean, it had the emotional elements to it, and Flair tapped out a bit too quickly for my liking. I think they could maybe the ref said, "Here, Vince wants to come on. You better fucking hurry it up,"
Vince is literally walking through the ring now, you know, so holy shit, you better hurry the fuck up, boys.
Yeah. But yeah, I was quite happy with this. It was a small taster of what their feud was probably like 10-15 years previous.
I thought it was good. Ric Flair bumped circles around Sting, made him look fucking great. Just did everything to make him look as good as he possibly could. Thought Flair's offense wasn't that great. It was lots of chops, couple of snapmares. That was pretty much it, actually. But overall, I liked it. I understand what this match means for fans of WCW and to both guys. Ending came out of nowhere. I would have liked a bit more build. Overall, this was good. I just wish they got a couple more minutes to go out with a great match.
And I know Flair, Sting, and the fans would agree.
You know why he's doing this?
Not really.
Because he can!
Oh, Flair Sting, you're out, motherfucker. No ending. Quick cut to the live Raw telecast. They've mistimed Vince's entrance, so he heads back up the ramp. Lillian reintroduces him, and he walks back down. Disgusting, really, because I was enjoying Flair and Sting, you know, hug and break kayfabe and, you know, enjoy adulation of the fans. And it's just bang into Raw, and it's such a jarring experience going from a handful of fans outside at night at Nitro to the bright, warm WWF cameras in the arena. That's it. There's no goodbye.
That's it. Yeah. The very first thing you hear is like Heyman's like shrill voice, and it's like, whoa, holy shit.
So that means it's time for our main event.
For the first time ever in sports entertainment history, this broadcast is not only being seen here on TNN and Cleveland, Ohio, but it's also being seen across TNN, Turner Network Television.
It's time for your main event, the Raw Simulcast. The winner of the Monday Night Wars, Vince McMahon, publicly addresses the acquisition of WCW, the feed simultaneously going out on WWF Raw on TNN and WCW Nitro on TNT. Holy shit. JR and Paul Heyman are on commentary. First thing you hear is ECW's Paul Heyman is on WWF Raw on a WCW broadcast.
What?
Surreal. It's just incredible. Like, holy shit. Vince, this promo, it's like, I try not to take Vince McMahon for granted, but he is incredible as a character, a performer, his delivery of lines, working the crowd.
Because you have to grab your competition by the throat and you've got to squeeze the life out of your competition. Just like I did to WCW.
Fans right there. In his
Palm
fucking
of
hands.
yeah. It's amazing stuff. Vince gloats about buying his competition. He says he'll sign the contract at WrestleMania when Ted Turner delivers him the contract. He takes full credit for beating a billionaire by becoming one himself. He ponders what he should do with WCW. Shelve it for 13 years until the WWE Network? Watch tapes of Hogan hulking up, and he goes, it was amazing. He killed Hulk Hogan right there.
He buried him, yeah.
In an excellent spot, McMahon takes a live survey for which WCW talents he should pick up.
Let's start with Hulk Hogan. Up. Hogan down.
Hogan? More boos, but not a loud response. Lex Luger? Boos.
I cheered.
But louder than Hulk Hogan's.
Yeah.
Bigger response than Hogan there.
Yeah,
Like,
what's that tell you?
Yeah.
Get ready for the shock.
Buff Bagwell. Big pop.
Second biggest pop of all names that were mentioned.
What the fuck? It's like Hackenschmidt, Fez, Flair, Bagwell. How is this?
It's because he's different. It's because he stands
He's a
out.
nice guy in that, but come on. Like.
No, I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm just saying he looks different, you know, with the hat and...
He has
you know,
charisma.
Yeah.
I'll give him that much. Yeah. But it's new, you know, it's not Luger coming back. It's not Hogan coming back.
Exactly.
You know, it's fresh.
Booker T? Big pop,
Good old
despite his promo earlier.
So the Raw fans were too busy watching Raw.
Watching Vince.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner.
Big ass pop.
Yeah, big tune.
Because again, it's like, wow, the Scott Steiner we fucking knew was nothing like this fucking Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Goldberg chants. So Vince asked, Sting? I think it's a good pop. Yeah. And then asked Goldberg. A huge pop.
You're not getting him. 2003. And I'm gonna put a wig on him.
Did he want to put a wig on him?
He did put a wig on him.
Yeah. Goldust wig.
Backstage segment. This,
Oh, but it wasn't like I'm pretending.
Oh, no.
It's not a character change. Right? Yeah.
No. It's just, like a joke segment. He does the deadpan look into the camera, and it's like, that's like Steve Austin would never do. You know what I mean? He'd take the ball and go home.
Take the wig and go.
Vince insults Panama City Beach as Redneck Riviera in a beer hall, wanting to hire every WCW wrestler just to fire them. WCW is going on the shelf, going nowhere, be buried. The corporation theme hits and the fans cheer. It's Shane McMahon. Here Comes the Money. He still has the same song as Vince. Weirdly, Shane's audio is a second ahead of the video. It's the raw feed of what's happening at Nitro, and he's at Nitro, so it's kind of bouncing twice.
It's kind of weird.
Why did they fuck it up? Why didn't they cut the raw sound and cut back into the Nitro audio and just have the raw video?
Yeah.
It's because it sounds perfect on Raw, and fuck the last Nitro.
Yeah, but the Nitro viewers.
Yeah, fuck them though.
Yeah.
All 2 million of you. I know, but watch next week then.
Yeah.
Surprise, Dad! You're in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm here in Panama City Beach, Florida.
In Shane McMahon's greatest speech, his most iconic moment, it's instantly memorable. Shane says the deal with WCW is finalised, but the contract doesn't read Vince McMahon. The contract reads Shane McMahon. He has bought WCW and promises to kick WWF's ass again.
However, the contract reads Shane McMahon.
Oh my God! I don't believe it!
That's right. I now own WCW.
A massive pop, holy shit, WCW versus WWF, it's fucking on.
It's fucking on. It begins. This is where it is. It's the feud we've all wanted.
All the stars will show up.
Austin Goldberg, Sting Taker, Lex Luger,
everyone else.
Heidenreich.
Oh yeah. Just knew in my heart that it was going to be the greatest year in wrestling history.
And
it was.
Yes. For now. JR stresses that the Raw main event is still to come on TNN as the last Nitro ends with an ad for WrestleMania X7. So no Leave the Memories Alone, no WCW Desire, Lonely Road of Faith by Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Music montage, just...
Shivani saying bye. That's it, one word. No, not a chance.
Fuck you.
Notably absent was Eric Bischoff, who stayed at home after the Fusion deal went bust. Same with Russo. If you're wondering, where were the other big name talents on Nitro? Some were written out of storyline, like Goldberg. Some had been fired, Scott Hall, Bret Hart. Some weren't used, totally buffed, Luger and Bagwell. Some contracts were already up, like Hogan and Savage. And some just flat out refused to turn up, knowing they could get away with it, Kevin Nash. Yeah, it's so sad to see the last 20 minutes of WCW show end with the WWF, but it was an amazing, historic, monumental segment. It's never to be repeated.
Like
Incredible. And the promo by Vince is amazing as well.
it's probably the single most important couple of minutes in wrestling history. You know, like it changed absolutely everything. We had no idea it was going to go to the bad side and not for the holy shit amazing side.
That said, like, the last 20 minutes, WCW would have squandered it anyway if you had another 20 minutes.
It's true. God, yeah, they go, but like, oh yeah, we can fit another 4 matches here. 8 more Vince segments. We can have them walking back up. Been in it.
You're gonna have Bam Bam holding loads of Mickeys. What'd you think of the show?
It was watchable. It was fine. There was no good wrestling on it at all. A few things that I liked about it, okay? I thought Flair's promo at the start was fucking phenomenal. It was the best thing about this show by an absolute mile. How big things were on this show mean stuff, you know, like this was an earth-shattering episode of Nitro. Plumbo and O'Hare, I thought, were decent and were kind of built up to look good heading into their Fed run. And I thought Flair's bumping in the main event was fantastic. And despised Vince McMahon all over the show. It was fucking disgusting. Like, if you had to cut 3/4 of the segments he was in out, it would still be too many.
Not only were there too many, but they were all useless. Like,
Yeah.
It was just literally, I want to be on the show.
Yeah.
Victor to the spoils, yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, Vince burying the WCW talent, the fans, and the city that they're in. Didn't enjoy the Spotfest match that had no storytelling, despite some of the moves being very good. Meat versus Bam Bam, get the fuck out. Flair's snapmares and chops as his offense, not great. So yeah, overall, it was watchable. There was very few things that were dreadful on it. There just wasn't that many good things. But overall, very important show in the landscape of wrestling. One that you should watch.
Yeah, I there was nothing on this that I was, thinking, oh, this is dreadful. Because nothing had time to be bad. Even matches that you expected wouldn't be very good were acceptable. And I liked the main event. It was obviously far too rushed. I mean, you could have had maybe 4, 5 matches, maybe, maximum. But, overall, absolutely have to watch it.
Right. I thought it was a very bare bones show, despite having a 2-hour block, cramming in as much as you could. Young guys generally had no characters. There wasn't time or money to give WCW a proper send-off, but I thought the 2 WCW stalwarts, Sting and Flair, was the perfect match to end on. Like if WWF closed out with like Shawn and Taker or something. No goodbye, no ending video package, just cut straight to Vince and the WWF and the simulcast. I thought it felt wrong, However, it was great to finally see this show, even if it was slapdashed. Copped off with an excellent, iconic, memorable, milestone simulcast segment. It's like, holy shit, it's the best thing Shane McMahon's ever done. One of the best things Vince has ever done. Hopes were sky high.
The unrest is growing, the power building. What forces fuel the rebellion? Who will lead the revolution? On June 27th, everything you know is about to change. Be a part of history when the WCW takes over the Stabler Arena live June 27th. Tickets are on sale now at the Stabler Arena box office, Ticketmaster, or charge by phone at 215-336-2000. The return of the WCW, the revolution is near.
I just have some tidbits about WCW in 2001, see if you like it. WCW originally planned more Sins pay-per-views in 2001, past Sin, Super Bowl, Revenge, and Greed. Namely WCW Envy, April 15th, Deceit, May 6th, and WCW Pride, June 10th. Not planned were WCW Shame and WCW Embarrassment.
WCW shit.
Fusion and Bischoff's original plan was WCW would go dark for a couple of months for retooling and have a big reboot pay-per-view called The Big Bang on May 6, 2001. The idea was the big names, Hogan, Goldberg, Sting, Nash and all that, would come back to reclaim WCW. Afterwards, they'd take Nitro off the road and shoot their TV in a stationary place that had lots of tourists coming in and out, like in Vegas or Orlando.
So their vision was TNA?
Yeah. WCW was sold for a final sum of $2.5 million. You'd often hear DDP saying how WCW is still getting great ratings for TNT at its death, but ratings aren't the only factor to staying on telly. Your audience demographics and what you can get in ad revenue is more important. So Nitro was still getting 2.5s, but Warner would think that they could get just as much ad revenue without wrestling for a fraction of the cost and not having to dirty their hands with pro wrestling.
You could probably throw on a fucking rerun of Cops and get like a 4 rating or something crazy like that, you know?
WWF did try to buy out WCW in October 2000, 6 months before they did, and keep Nitro on TNT. But Viacom, who owned TNN, had absolutely none of that and kiboshed it completely. The relaunch story would have been that Linda divorces Vince and gets Raw, and gives Raw to Shane, so WCW take Raw, and Vince takes SmackDown in the WWF.
Wow, that was never going to happen, was it?
I can't imagine WCW taking the flagship show.
God. I would have loved to have seen that promo where she like wakes up from her zombie sleep and she's like, "Vince, you get smacked on." She's not a ghost. She fucking is in this storyline.
He's a zombie vampire. You would have got 2 separate touring rosters, WCW and WWF, which is what happened with the 2002 brand extension with Raw and SmackDown. Even with the clout of WWF owning WCW, no TV station would touch WCW. So what now? Integrate the B team of WCW stars into WWF programs with an invasion storyline, split the bloated roster in 2, and Vince has his 2 separate touring brands.
I actually think that's a better plan. It was just the execution was awful.
Like, call one of them WWF Raw and the other one WCW Nitro.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Nitro or whatever.
But UPN are like, fuck no, we don't want any piece of Nitro.
Why?
Because WCW lost $62 million last year. It's a dead brand.
Okay.
And yes, $62 million in 2000 is a lot of money to lose in 1 year. But 2 things. Their cutbacks, dropping the big stars, had them on track running at only a loss of about 25 million. So that's good. Better. It's an improvement. And 62 million is a drop in the pond compared to AOL and Time Warner's. How much did they lose with that merger? WCW 62 million. AOL Time Warner?
Like 300 million or something crazy like that.
$10 billion.
$206 billion.
What? Shit.
Their stock price was like $2.26 and it went down to 20.
Yeah, it's a fucking drop in the pond, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so Kellner and the rest of you can fuck off. Like, WCW have never done anything 100th as bad as what they did. If you want to know why the merger failed, AOL and Time Warner had different, incompatible philosophies, which bred mutual disrespect. Time Warner were more corporate, and AOL were arrogant arseholes, apparently. Combine that with the .com bubble bursting, and AOL sticking with dial-up internet in the face of broadband.
Oh, genius. Genius.
Boom.
How Irish of you.
$206 billion, please. Fuck. And that brings WCW Final Nitro to a close. Next up, the Raw side of the coin, that very same night, the go-home show to the biggest WrestleMania in history. WrestleMania X7. So before we sign out for the evening, let's hit the wrestling is...
Him.
Vince! You get SmackDown! Segment. What was that? I don't know. I don't know.
Up and down that lonely road of faith, I have been there, unprepared for the storms and the tides that rise. I've realized one thing: easy to see you cry. I believe we can make it through the winds of change. And if you just hold on, I won't let you fall. I won't let you fall. We can make it through the storms and the winds of change.
That does it for this week, folks. Episode 51 is in the books.
In the pocket.
Out of sight.
Next up is the Simulcast Raw, airing the same night as WCW Final Nitro, the Go Home Raw for WrestleMania X7, April 26, 2001. Special thanks to Brian at WCWWorldwide.com, Brad at Daydream Figures for the awesome title cards, Kenny and Harley Wotton for the amazing theme song, Matthew and Blaster McMassive for the intro.
Great name.
And as always, our buddies Luke, Davin and Rory at PiledriverWrestling.net and OSW chat feed. Remember you can watch every episode free of charge and an IMAX flavoured Porter 3 full screen at OSWReview.com. And while you're there, why not pick up our new What Bar t-shirt at t-shirt.oswreview.com. So it's a goodbye from Ozzy. And V1. Can't say anything. And myself, Jay Hunter. And remember, a winner is you.
When you said it, Steve went like, I go. I think this show may have made about like 8 new gimmicks that we can run into the ground.